All right, so this is like kind of a little bit of an intro post recording and everything because we didn't really get a great intro just because we wanted to be more genuine, so we didn't really plan anything. But me and Kaden kind of we we wanted to talk about things and have people give their opinion on things and have a place to where people can actually talk about things that people don't really talk about normally. So we decided to make this podcast, and I'm the owner and he's the co-owner, so kind of 50-50 type ownership. And we sometimes we're gonna have just me and Kaden, sometimes we're gonna have 3, 4 people, even more maybe. If you ever want to get on it, message one of us, or I'll put my email into the description of the video. Just get in contact with one of us. We'd be happy to honestly take anyone. We just want to have genuine conversations with genuine people. You don't even necessarily have to be one of our, friends. We just want to have conversation and actually have the conversations people don't really have enough. So, just since this is our first video and everything, and we kind of want to get people to give input and whatever, please leave a comment, any input, say if it's good or not. Um, Give a like, try to share it, please. We want more people to see it because since it's a video with, no one seeing it, no one's going to see it without you sharing it. So you are the forefront of this getting out. And every party of this recording is very proud of what it was. We all had a very fun time. And we hope you guys have a fun time watching it and enjoying it like we did. And a slight problem, I'm not sure why it does this, but my microphone has a random static every once in a while. I'm trying to fix that, but you might notice it, but I've tried to edit it down to where it's not super annoying. But I hope you guys all enjoy. And again, comments, like, subscribe, give suggestions. If you want to get on, talk to one of us. We'd be happy to set up a schedule for that. Thank you. Genuine. All right. Hello.
I
This is the first What Do You Think podcast. This is James Crockett, the host and owner. And then we got, do introduce yourself? One of
oh my
you.
bad. Hold, should we restart, bro?
Nah,
I thought you were gonna
just
say. Oh,
go
I,
with it.
I didn't
Just
know if you were
go
gonna say
with it.
my name.
Just flow with it. It's all right.
My name is Kaden. I'm the co-host, and
And then we got,
Draven, I am guest.
all right. So pretty much, we don't really have any structure or anything. We just kind of talking. We got, we're just gonna be talking about politics, life, and shit like that. First, Draven, if you
Life
want
is
to,
hell.
you might as well. Draven, do you want to talk about yourself, kind of the type of person you are, and kind of what you want to inspire to be, kind of?
Oh, I'm a very kind and genuine person. I don't have hatred in my heart for nobody. And what I want to be personally, I just want to be a good person all around. I want my name to be good known for being a good person.
And honestly, I don't think there's really much bad thing you can say about like Draven. The reason why I wanted, again, I already told you this before we started, but the reason I wanted you on this podcast is just because you're a genuine person. I literally, I feel like you don't have any hate in your heart. Like talking to you, I couldn't think of you saying anything bad or being angry towards a person because you're always just super genuine and nice, and you always uplift people, kind of, which is like, in my opinion, one of the best traits a person can have. I and I think that's kind of both with both of you. You guys are both just really genuine people. You guys both uplift people, and I think that's really important.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
yeah, I appreciate that, James. Same for you, bro.
Thank you.
So I appreciate that.
Now, I
So
guess we don't need to go. We're not going to deep dive straight into politics, but a little bit. Uh, Draven, are you into politics at all, or like, do you care about it or no?
as long as whoever's running the office, like personally, I prefer shit. What is it, bro? I don't even know the
The
two names. So truthfully, I can't really diverse in any of it. But I think it's Republican.
Mm-hmm. For for
But
for me, I would say politics is one of the most important things. Now, I'm not saying like you got to be at the fucking dinner table arguing with, your grandma screaming at each other, because that's not what politics are. Politics are
no,
That's what brings the country forward, and the problem is I think people use it to divide each other instead of using it to connect each other. And
facts.
I think a little bit of the problem is social media, because social media, it feels like it connects us, but it almost separates us even more. Just like algorithms, right? You're only really
Yeah.
seeing what you appreciate or like. So then when Republicans are only seeing Republican things, they're going to think the Democrats are horrible, and they're going to just keep listening to these lies. And I think that's what really sets us back as like people, is that we are too fixated on what we believe and not open-mindedness to other people.
It, I
Now,
believe that's called a fixed mindset, dog.
mhm.
You
So
know, instead of like a growth mindset.
yeah, what it,
Yeah. Mhm.
when okay, so the election, obviously, I'm not saying like you have a huge opinion on it, but what did you think about it? I guess what was your opinion? Why did you know?
I didn't vote personally.
Mm-hmm.
I did not vote. Uh, missed the registration time. Uh, Personally, I would have wanted Trump to go in there in the first place because I ain't go speak upon it, but Biden did mess up a little bit.
I mean, I'm gonna hold my opinion. I'm gonna say my opinion. I think Biden shouldn't have been in office. I mean, okay, he was a politician. He knew what he was doing before, but he was clearly at the decline of his cognitive ability. And I guess, Kaden, do you have any opinions on Biden or anything or any politics?
I
You don't
think
need to just agree with me because I'm saying it.
I think he had
Yeah,
the right ideas. I just think he was too old. Like I feel like he was having like I don't know. I'm in
he
the
was
middle on this type
definitely
of stuff
having
because it's
mental
like
issues.
I just think
He
he was
was
too old.
definitely having.
He like I think had the right ideas though.
I agree. Because with me, I would say I put myself more in the middle. I agree with a lot of the different things Democrats say, but I also agree a lot with what Republicans say. So I can't really put myself as a Republican or a Democrat. But I'm pretty young. I'm only 17, and you're, I think, both 18, right?
No, I'm
Yes, sir.
17.
So, oh yeah,
Oh no,
Caden's
I'm
17.
only 18. Wow.
But I feel like I'm optimistic
Hanging out with minors.
for our
Great.
country. I'm optimistic. I think we finally. I'm not saying Trump's the solution here. I'm thinking he's a
No.
step forward. I think he's a step forward to a stronger president and a stronger America because, I mean, we made ourselves weak. You know, just looking at the border, simply how much of illegals and how many drugs went into the country. I'm not talking about like people that want sanctuary. America has always been that place for sanctuary. I'm not dissing on the
Yeah.
families that wanted a better life. But with these open borders, we let the fentanyl, how many Americans died to fentanyl? That it's ridiculous how many drugs go
Couple
through our
thousand,
border.
couple 100,000.
We're like one of the top consuming like our country is one of the top consumers of drugs in the world.
Top
Look at our school, bro.
what?
And that is and that's because
No
of the open
disagreement there, dog. No disagreement
My
there.
bad. Was that out of line?
No, no. But you are correct about that. The schools. I'm not gonna lie. The school system and the school are a bit bogus.
Definitely. You want to go deeper on that?
The school system,
Yeah.
for sure. If you want to.
Yeah, it's what do you think, dude? Tell me what you think.
Personally, I think it's bogus because I've about getting charged with truancy a few times
Me too.
already. Like I've been charged with truancy once, but I feel like they're gonna charge me again because of my unexcused absences, and I barely have over 7.
Mhm.
But like they already sent a letter of truancy when I barely even got my 4th one.
Yeah, the truancy shit's pretty ridiculous. I got one, I had the meeting with I forget the vice principal's name. It doesn't really matter, but the vice
Trish.
principal and name drop. I'm just kidding. That doesn't really matter. But I have now. I'm not grades really. Again, grades aren't. I'm not again. I don't think grades are a sign of intelligence. It's a sign of doing what you're told.
Basically, that's
That's what
all
it
it is.
is. Cause no,
Yeah, it's
there's a
what it
couple
is.
classes that you need to be smart for. Calculus. Yeah, you can't be dumb and do calculus. But
No.
most of it is just like an English class, right? None of the stuff,
Oh,
unless maybe unless you're in like AP English. I haven't been in one, so maybe it's different. But you
Yeah,
just
I've
have to
never been
listen
in
to the
anything English
teacher. You
class
know,
either.
you just listen to the teacher and write on the paper and do as they say, and you get it full credit. It's
Well,
not actually teaching you anything. It's just teaching you how to be a servant almost.
basically, that's all it is. But here's my thing though. If you, have y'all noticed that we're relearning the same stuff?
yeah.
Exactly. Now,
For
Caden
like we're
Shepard.
relearning some of the same stuff. It's just in different context.
Now, Caden Shepard's been learning the same thing because he's been in the
Hold
senior
up,
for
bro.
now
Let
4
me. I
years.
was gonna say, let me give y'all my school, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I don't believe after middle school, school matters as much. I feel like you've learned everything you need to know to be an adult when you're after middle school.
Mhm.
Like there's stuff obviously you can learn to be better at being an adult, but I feel like all the essential stuff you need to know, you know,
But that should
after
be
middle
by
school.
choice too, you know?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why personally I slacked off at the start. That's why I felt kind of behind because I just was like, I already understand most of this stuff, and I
I
just started acting like an idiot. But I'm trying to lock
Honestly,
back
I
in
feel like
now,
that's why
so that way I can
My
graduate on
GPA is
time.
so low.
Not saying,
I agree and
That's
disagree.
why I feel like my GPA is so low
I think
because I didn't excel in those classes because I already learned them.
I think
yeah,
there's a lot of things. I think the problem is there should be more to learn after middle school, and I think the problem is the way they teach it. It makes people not care and not think about the importance because the way we're learning, we're not actually getting more intelligent. We're not actually doing. We're learning how to regurgitate information onto a paper, onto a
yeah.
test. Yeah, because I
I
mean,
agree with that too.
you study or don't study. You do the things to pass this test. After that test, how much of that information do you actually retain? Almost none of it. If I like, let's say algebra 2. I couldn't tell you
I
what
could
the
not tell
I
you
couldn't
anything from
I couldn't
algebra.
tell you from the last couple tests. I got all A's on my
You take a
tests.
test?
Well, I'm talking about last semester.
Oh, I was
You
about
know,
to say,
I got all A's on my tests because I'm trying to get good grades just because I don't really think they're a sign of intelligence, but I want to prove to people that I'm more capable than I actually am because it's never a it was always me not caring or not just being lazy, I guess, or just not wanting to do it
Hmm.
because I didn't think it mattered. But I'm trying to prove to people, hey, I am responsible, I'm capable, I'm intelligent. So that's the only reason why I'm doing this. But I mean, I got basically an A on every single algebra test, and I couldn't tell you like half of the stuff I learned. Just because it's not actually teaching me the stuff, it's just teaching me how to do a test.
It's teaching you how to retain and put it on paper.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Truthfully, I think the whole like if you look at a classroom from 100 years ago, and from today, you can't see the difference.
Yeah, there is no difference. The only difference is we have technology. Oh, we
Yeah.
have. Oh, instead of taking notes on a piece of paper, we have a laptop. Oh, big
another
difference.
thing.
But, but
Another thing
here's the
is they
thing.
make it
Also, with
harder
the
to
new
graduate
scheme,
now.
though.
Oh, my bad, Dre. My bad.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they make it harder to graduate. You have to jump through so many hoops, but they're not teaching nothing different.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like
they're
you're
Oh
just
yeah,
going
it's
adding
fast
just
forward.
more
rules
hoops
to
to jump
graduate,
through.
Like
and they're
I
not
understand they
teaching.
learn stuff because even if you want to do it later, like
Mm-hmm.
college, it makes it easier to do. But it's like making the like my best example is the fast food. Making me have to do the fast food just to graduate, like that's kind of dumb to me
Really,
because it's like
the whole
I
reason of
understand why.
FAFSA. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I understand why you want people to do it because it can set them up later in life to go to college if they want to later on. But it's like I could just do that later on in life when I want to go to college at the same time.
I'm not familiar with what the FAFSA is. Could you tell
It,
me?
it's basically like you put in your information and they tell you I hope I'm not
If
wrong on
your
this
if your
if you're eligible for
qualification,
certain scholarships
Mm. Yeah.
no, well that
or
is what it is as
student loan
well.
too.
Yeah, student loans. That's all it is. It's basically a whole thing for them to judge you. That's all it is.
I don't think that's a very. I don't see why
Because
that's
you want to know
a
what the first question
requirement.
on the you want to know what the first question on that form is?
It's your
What?
family's income, I think.
Nope. It's
No.
what's your ethnicity?
Oh,
Because of the
I know
DEI thing.
what.
Okay. I believe everyone. Okay, so there's I don't want to say the terminology and get it wrong, but there's two different kinds of equality, right? It's giving everyone the same opportunity, like let's say a black and a white person. They're both born into this education system, and they both can try harder, and whichever one, they both have the same opportunities, but if one tries harder, they're going to succeed more. And there's another type of quote unquote equality where you bring down the people that are doing really good and bring up the people that aren't, so everyone's on an equal level. Well, that's stupid. If the equality things, right? I think it is good. Like, I'm not saying, like, yes, if a black woman wants to go work her ass off to be a doctor or a surgeon, yes, that she should have every right to do that, and no extra hoops she has to go through. And they don't. But the I think it's called DEI, diverse, equity, inclusion. You are literally taking out more qualified people just to hit a race quota. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's like what the big colleges do, right? They'll accept like a Asian
Yes.
person with the exact same what's it called, like qualifications, but just because they're not white, they'll accept them, right?
Yeah, and sometimes
Or
even
but
worse qualifications. Sometimes they'll turn down someone with better qualifications just because they're white and have a better income or something like that. And I think it is good to have programs that let people, like lower class people, into college, because sometimes that first generation college person can change their whole generations for the next, Because there's a lot of parts of college that is a scam, but it is true there are certain majors in college, and still, not certain, a lot, that can change the course of your life and the generations after you for your family. And
Totally
I think
agreeable.
I think and I do really I appreciate, like, I think there should be programs to let people that were born into worse situations to be able to do that, because college is too damn expensive now. The
Oh
prices
yeah.
are okay. The prices are rising exponent like a crazy amount, and the wages aren't. It's ridiculous. College is like, that's why people say college is a scam. Now, it's not completely a scam, but some of it is. Like, if you go into like I can't think of a stupid one right now, like gender studies or something like that. If you get a major in gender studies, which I think is a major, what are
It
you
is.
doing? I mean, there might be some jobs, like there might be, but like the
But do they
college,
really pay that well?
there's a reason. I'm just saying, there's a reason why India has better engineers than us, because when they send their kids to college, they're not sending their kids to college to go do stupid things. They're sending their kids to college to go be engineers, to go be software engineers. Now,
To
people
go make money.
people make fun of Indians a lot because the scam call centers, and that's just because they literally have like more than 1 billion people in the country. That is a crazy amount of number. We have like 300 million. You're gonna have a big poor population when you have that many people. It's inevitable.
It's just that. Yeah.
But they have like
It's
I'm
just
pretty
how
sure
it is.
it's either India or China have the biggest amount of engineers in the world, and it keeps raising, and ours are going down. Or they might not be going down. I don't want to say that as a statistic, and I might be wrong, but we're not getting enough engineers and stuff. We're getting more, in my opinion, stupid jobs, when we should be focusing on jobs that actually boost our economy and boost our country and actually make life better for other generations. And electing a good president, isn't just going to fix our things, but we need a president or Congress or Senate that actually wants America to be better instead of just fighting.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that is what Trump wants as well. He does want people to stop dying.
Mm-hmm. Too many people.
Say, I did
Too
I did
many
read about that.
people die from drugs. And another thing, now, I believe in the Second Amendment, and this is a complex problem, so I'm not really going to talk about this a lot because there is no easy solution. But it is a problem. We can't act like it's not a problem when. Okay, so originally, before a couple years ago, the major death of children were car crashes. That was the majority of how
Hmm.
kids were dying.
Sounds
It
about right. You see how people drive?
now the majority of kids that die in school shootings. That is a problem. Now, I'm not saying
Yes, it
banning
is.
guns is the fixing this problem. That's a complex problem that's not going to get fixed in a day. But that is a problem, and we
I
need to
feel
fix
like
that.
I feel like there needs to be more background checks,
Mm-hmm.
more like a psych evaluation, and
I don't believe
then
they should be banned, but they
I
should
don't
still
think that
have
this
more of
should
a
be
situation.
banned.
Like I hate
Yeah,
you adding hoops to jump through, but I feel like for like weapons specifically, you need more hoops to jump through because I like just some random
I
dude
agree.
shouldn't be able to just go buy a gun.
I agree. Because
see, I feel like there needs to be more hoops to jump through. I totally agree with Kate right now.
me too. I agree 100%. And a lot of
You know,
people say, well, they don't want that because then the government can control who gets guns. Well, children are dying. That it's
it shouldn't even be in the government's hands though. It
mhm,
should be in a like it should be in the businesses who make the guns.
mhm,
They should be the ones who should be able to run the background checks, be able to make sure that their product is going into the right hand.
mhm.
I also would say the same reason they probably won't do that is because they also know if someone wants something bad enough, they're gonna get it. Like obviously
Exactly.
it would make it harder, but the people that want to get guns are gonna get guns
Well, yeah,
regardless.
you can get
Like
them illegally in Chicago on the side of the street. I mean, it's just
exactly, I've
You
been
can
there.
make ghost guns out of 3D printers. I
yeah,
mean,
Ghost guns.
yeah, the guns that
it,
are untraceable that you can they
yeah,
have no serial
they're
Oh,
numbers.
I thought you were
plastic.
talking.
That's what
I
they're
thought you were
called.
about
They're
to.
called ghost guns.
I'm stupid. I thought you were talking about some like Ghostbusters stuff. My bad.
You know, you're good. But for real, they're like ghost guns. They're just made out of plastic. The whole magazine, the spring, all of it. It's just made
And
out
all
of
you just
plastic.
and all you need is just bullets and you're chilling.
Yeah, I mean that's a
For real.
thing. Um,
Oh, you shouldn't be
And
able
you
to do
just
that. That's a
you
free
put it
gun.
together. But no, because then you could use that gun and it can't be traced back to anything. Let's say you
Yeah,
use that gun in murder. Let's say you use that gun in a murder, then what?
mhm.
Then that
you
person
shouldn't
can
be able
never
to do
be
that.
found. That person should never be able to be found. And
Now
then what about that family? You know,
there's one topic. This is a little off topic, but this is one topic I really wanted to talk about. So okay, so Trump signed over 200 executive orders on his first day, which is like the most in history, I think. And
it's yeah, it made
one of
history.
them, which okay, so I think this was really good, and I think there can be really bad repercussions. So he signed the border
'Cause-
as a national emergency, which means the Department of Defense can deploy troops and
Oh, they
like
did.
activate there. Yes, and they're going. There's about 1,500 Marine and Army men going, and probably more. And
Definitely.
then he
They never tell you the exact
classified
number.
all these cartels as terrorist organizations. So then the Department of Defense can actually activate troops like special forces and stuff against these cartels. And at first, when I heard that, I was like, hell yeah, this is a good thing. We can start getting special forces to start killing these cartels because these cartels are killing Americans at an almost factory level rate, like kind of like at a steady number that is rising. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. And we shouldn't be allowing that to happen. And at first I was like, yeah, that's a really good thing. We start getting special forces killing these motherfuckers. But then, now this isn't all my like own thinking. A lot of this is actually from like Jake Swag or whatever. I'm gonna put it in the description whenever I post it because this is a really good video. But when we start, these cartel people aren't just like ragtag motherfuckers like we were fighting in Afghanistan, right? And we were in Afghanistan for 20 years, right? And the majority of the Afghanistan people we were fighting had no air support, no nothing. They were mainly just pretty much shittily trained people with AKs, for most part. A lot of them, there were some pretty high level ones, but not a lot. But the cartels are a
And truth,
complete. The cartels are a complete different thing. The cartel is, I think, Mexico's fifth most employing job in Mexico. The cartel is now. That is ridiculous. And these people
I'm gonna need confirmation on that.
here, here I can probably look for it while I talk. So, the I'm losing my train of thought now. These
You talking
My
about
people
bad,
with
brother.
have a
oh my
ridiculous
bad.
amount of money. Yeah, you look it up for me, please. They have a ridiculous amount of money. Okay, a ridiculous amount. And when these aren't okay, so we train the Mexican military, like their special forces. We used our special forces to train them, and a lot of them switched to the cartel and are now training the cartel. So a lot of the cartel people are actually trained from high level special forces people.
What if that was the whole point of them going into the special forces?
There's a good chance, but the thing is, they are ridiculously powerful. They I think I'm not gonna give an exact number because I don't know the exact number, so I'm not gonna say. But a lot of politicians last year in Mexico got assassinated. It was like a decently crazy amount. They have
Yeah.
so much power. No one wants to go fight the cartel because they are doing crazy shit. They're brutal as fuck. I'm getting a little heated, so I'm
They
saying a lot of cuss words. But
decapitate. So
there's a story. She was an American. She was pregnant. They cut the fetus out of her and decapitated her. These
no,
people. No, they did. I swear.
I believe you, but I'm like, why would somebody have the thing? Why would somebody have the conscience to do that?
I don't
How
know.
do people have the
I
conscience
don't
to do
know.
that?
I don't know if they're evil or well, they are. That's an evil thing. They're obviously evil, but like I don't know if it's just pure
Well,
just because they're evil or if they're like
we
they
can't
don't think
we
it's
can't
wrong. But
we can't deem them as evil because we don't truly know what's going on. They
yeah,
could be scared. They
like
could be scared of a higher
You're not
power.
scared if you're No, Joe, I'm sorry, bro. You're not scared if you're cutting someone's
they
baby out of their
have
body and
power.
cutting
No,
their head off.
it's not
No,
about
I'm not.
here.
I
I'll
say
let
I,
you talk
I
your point. This is let me. I'll hear you out real quick.
I'm not saying that they don't have power, but let's say that there's a hierarchy to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say the next person up. Let's say if they don't do. Let's say if the person down below them doesn't do what they're told, then that happens to them or their family.
Okay, now I see what you mean. Yeah, that's kind of what happened a little bit with like things in World War II, like the Nazis. You know, most people, the Nazis were normal people, and they said they were just following orders because they were scared that they would, get these repercussions. I kind of see what you mean, but I mean like the people ordering this, you can't just do this normally. But pretty much what I'm saying, our special forces guys are ruthless, right? But we
Oh
have
yeah,
laws.
definitely.
They can't just go murder people or kill people ruthlessly. Like they can't just cut off a cartel's guy's head and be ruthless like that and without getting reproduction. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
Repercussions.
Repercussions.
Yeah, repercussions.
We
These
all
cartel
understand what
people
you're saying, bud.
don't
So
have that barrier. So when we're sending our special forces guys over there, and by the way, you can get a $200 drone with thermal camera. It's I think about $800 for a thermal drone that has a bomb strap to it. So what is the special forces guy going to do when a drone at night can see him from a mile away and just blow him up immediately? First of all, the technology's changed. So when we send these special forces guys over here, what's stopping them from getting an $800 drone and killing them all immediately with an explosive? What's stopping them from finding those special forces people family? Because all the special forces people are stationed in Fort Bragg. So that means all their families live near Fort Bragg. No married special forces guy's family is probably going to live anywhere far from that. And I'm not
but
sure what state Fort Bragg's in. They can, and think about it. With how many, I think it was almost maybe more than 3 million illegals came into our country. There's definitely a high number of cartel people in our country. No doubt about it.
most
Because who's
They're
selling their
around here,
definitely.
drugs?
bro. They're around here, bro.
Yeah,
I'll be honest
no,
with you.
it's ridiculous. So what's stopping these people from kidnapping in America? Because so let's say we start killing these people, right? Start actually sending special forces and killing cartel people. What's stopping them from kidnapping one of let's say an innocent guy with a gun, right? He's a good guy. He works. He's blue collar, loves his family. They kidnap his whole family and say, "We're gonna torture your family unless you go shoot up this mall or you go make a bomb and blow up this thing." I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but a majority of people, no matter how good of a guy they are, if their family, like their baby, is getting tortured if they don't do it,
It's
most men
all
are gonna
about
go do it. Most people
it's
are gonna
about
go do
food.
that because you want to protect your
It's about
family.
food. For real, yeah.
So if we start sending special forces to go kill these cartel people, that's not going to even fix our drug problem. We have an almost unfixable drug problem in America. Almost unfixable. It's fixable, but it's going to be very hard. And it's not just killing people isn't going to fix it because we did that for 20 years in Afghanistan. And is Afghanistan better off than it was 20 years ago? No. Is Iraq better
What
20
was
off?
the most pointless war?
Exactly. No,
So,
Iraq was a completely pointless war. That's not even like a everyone knows that, or anyone that knows about wars knows that Iraq was completely pointless.
but then again, we also have to respect those veterans because those
Yeah, no,
veterans.
well, you got to think these
I
enlisted
respect those
soldiers
veterans.
that went there, they weren't making the decisions. They were told to go fight in the country and die.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't their fault. They didn't start
Nope.
this war. it was the higher ups that didn't care about their lives that did, and we need to hold those people accountable. But we don't. But anyways, what I'm
I
trying
got
to
a
say
question
is
for you. Well, I
sending
got
the
a question.
yeah.
Do y'all think that the reason we went to Iraq and all that was a lie, and like they were just going there for the oil, or do you think they were actually going there for the terrorist reason they were saying?
Okay.
Because I believe they went there for oil personally. I believe they were going
Okay.
there for all the oil.
It's a little. I'm not an expert. Like I'm not gonna be able to go super deep because it's way more than this. But I'll give you a little quick rundown. So we went originally like in 1990. One of the
It
19
was in the
before
90s.
9/11. Before the 9/11 happened. Iraq invaded Kuwait. Kuwait has a lot of oil. Iraq invaded them, and then we went to help Kuwait. Apparently, I think this was actually, in my opinion, a just war from what I know. We went
Mm-hmm.
to support Kuwait, us and like 32 different countries. It wasn't just us. We had like 32 different countries help us. And then we pushed Iraq back. And then afterwards, Iraq kind of just stayed in their own place, didn't invade Kuwait again. And then after 9/11, I think it was Bush. It doesn't matter what president. They after 9/11, which 9/11 wasn't made by Iraq, right? They are terrorists, but 9/11 didn't happen because of them. It happened because it was Osama bin Laden, which owns Al Qaeda, and Al Qaeda was out of Pakistan and parts of Afghanistan. Right after 9/11, we invaded Iraq. What did Iraq have to do with it? Well, apparently they had nukes and chemical weapons, which we did multiple like investigations and turned out they didn't, but we still invade them anyways. I think it was more to show a force of power, give a reason of war, and they had a lot of oil.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard. Of. Like they had, like they said they had nukes, but then they didn't have nukes, but they still did it anyway. So that's why I wanted to hear your
Yeah.
opinion on it.
I'm gonna send something.
In Afghanistan shouldn't have been 20 years. I think honestly what we should have done is found the people that did 9/11, get them off this earth and have them burn in hell, and not have thousands of Americans die in a pointless war that we lost all progress in 24 hours. Because that's crazy to think about. 20 years of war, longer than we have been alive. All that progress ended in 24 hours on that in that withdrawal. Every single piece of, because Americans died fighting for valleys, fighting for bases, fighting for territory in this country, and we lost it
Just to
all
lose
in
it all.
24 hours. For what gain? Now Afghanistan has Humvee. I don't know if you saw their parade after they, like, I think it was a couple months after we left. They just have like our Black Hawks and stuff, and they're flying our helicopters and driving our Humvees and tanks and stuff. I mean, it's just, we went to
We
war,
do.
spend a bunch of money for no reason. And I'll have you two chat about something while I try to find that statistic about the fifth thing, because I don't want to be saying fake shit if it was fake. So you
I
two
was
can
gonna
figure
say, they really, at the end of it, they really came out stronger than when we came in,
Oh, 1,000%.
just because of how we left. I don't know. I think I don't know too much about that type of stuff, so I don't really want to speak on too much
Oh, you
of
don't
it.
have to talk about that specifically.
But I'm gonna just, you guys can come back to this. I'm gonna ask a question for Draven. Draven, what's your favorite type of music?
Bro, I'm anything, bro.
That's what's up.
I'm
What
all
about you,
over the
James?
place.
Just a
Oh,
little like intermission.
so for me, okay, so Kendrick, I feel like anyone that has me talk about Kendrick knows I'm the #1 Kendrick fan.
No.
I've listened to every single
Honestly,
song, other than like the songs he's featured in. I like, if someone
Well,
else
maybe
made this
good,
song
James.
and he's featured in it, I might have not listened to it. But I've went through all his songs on Apple Music. I've listened to a couple of his old mixtapes, not all of them though, just only like maybe one or two. They were all right. And then I like
so
rock.
there was a time where we were coming back from PT, and he would just list off every song that he knew.
Oh, not, yeah, never mind. James, you have that crown now. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna
Yo,
start
I
acting
want
like
to
I'm
talk
the
about
bigger
some
Kendrick
PT
fan.
actually. Okay, so Washington Times, drug cartel, now Mexico's fifth largest employer. So I'm not gonna read out this whole article, but 175,000 people now actively work for Mexico's smuggling cartels. So
That's people around here too. I hope you know.
yeah, no,
Thank
there's
you
People
for
in our
definitely
area.
people in
confirming.
the cartel around
Thank you
here.
for confirming that.
But
Yeah.
PT. Okay, so what I was trying to say is this is pretty funny. So they, every recruiting branch has like the wall of chain of command, and the president's obviously the top of the military, top chain of command,
Yes.
and they just got Trump's picture in the mail, right? And
Yeah.
they took down Biden's, and I'm not gonna say any of their names just because whatever.
For respect, yes.
Yeah, respect, and they're in the military. I don't want whatever. So he takes it down, puts up Trump's, and says, "That's a real man right there." And then I don't know if he crumpled it up or just threw it in the trash. But he said, "Let's finally get this clown off the wall," and threw away Joe Biden's picture. It was so
I
fucking
feel like I
funny.
know which one did that.
Um,
I feel
it
like I
was.
know which one did that.
I could tell you later after this, but dude, that was so fucking funny. Um, I wasn't I was trying not to laugh. Um,
Oh,
I
I would have laughed. I would have laughed.
I literally actually called because my grandma. Okay, she's really biased, but she's like the number one Republican fan. I'll just say that. Um, I called her and then I told her about that, and then she went on like a whole 15-minute rant about why Republicans are so great, and I just kind of listened to it because I try to stay unbiased. So I listen to what she's saying, but then I think of it critically.
Yeah.
But I think thinking critically is probably one of the most important things for anyone.
Most
Because
My
definitely.
grandparents are my grandparents are weird, bro. They never even used to be like political, but now they're friends for political, and now they like meet ride whoever their friends like.
well, I
So it's
think a
like
lot of
my grandma just posts random stuff about Trump once every couple of weeks, even though I don't think she knows very much about it.
yeah, I think it's more fear of missing out, like FOMO. People like if all your friends are Republican, you don't want to be the one person that's like, oh, I don't like Trump. Now people do
Yeah,
that. I think that's good to actually be able to speak about those things. But most people want to fit in. Most people don't want to think for themselves, and I think that's a big problem.
yeah, most definitely.
Okay,
Um,
Oh
my bad.
wow.
What?
I was gonna ask a question. Okay, for
I
both of you,
bet.
I'll go Caden first. What was your
Hmm.
out of all years best school experience
I'll be honest. It was probably last year
last year?
because I never. I'm not a people person,
Mm-hmm.
and last year I finally started like actually talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mainly that geometry class I was in. I always kept to myself, man. I kind of messed myself up this year with it because I found out like if I just like act like an idiot, it's easier to talk to people because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not like being serious, I guess. So I
Yeah,
started doing that. But definitely last year because it was a lot of fun, like making a lot of friends for the first time in my life.
it
Because I've always
definitely
had
is.
friends, but it's like I just never talked to people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was last year.
We didn't say Kaden and I, we didn't really start talking until last year. Say we knew each other for a long, long time, but yeah, no, apart from we just conversated and we didn't really talk or hang out much. So
Yeah.
yeah, I can attest to that.
So Draven, for you, best school experience.
Ooh, um, would have to have been when I moved back to Lakeland. And I'm not saying Lakeland's a bad place,
Mm-hmm.
but it would have to have been when I went to East Noble. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I met a whole bunch of cool cats there. Say some I still wish that I was still in contact with, but we are falling out. So,
Yeah, it makes sense.
but it's just because I was only there for like 2-3 months, and then say it was just an understandable falling out. So, but yeah.
I think for me, so as much as I hate on this motherfucker, Brad Echterling, forever my day one. Well, not day one, I guess, because we started becoming friends in like third grade. But that motherfucker, me and him, always kind of menaces. I'm not gonna lie, but I would say
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so sixth grade, and I forget how the whole thing went. I think he put a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my chair and like at lunch, and I didn't sit in it, but I saw that and then knew it was him. So I got barbecue sauce, and this is a dick move, okay? But I got barbecue sauce put it all over the spoon, and smacked him in the head with the spoon, and barbecue sauce spilt like all over his head. And he hates barbecue sauce, by the way, all over his hair. And then
Spoils everything about him.
me and him had me and him had to miss, like, I think it was a week of recess. I could be wrong, but we had to miss like a week of recess and had to clean the lunchroom after like lunch every single day for a week because of that. But me and him were doing some crazy shit. Like, now I'm looking about it, it was kind of asshole shit. But me and him got me, him, and I'm not gonna say the kid's name, I guess. But we got into like a, not a fight, but like kind of fucking with him a little bit at recess because he like cheated in a game, I think. And we're sitting, there's a line, a white line crossing us, and we're like, I don't know why we're arguing across this line. And we were like, don't step across this line, and then he stepped across it, and I spit on his shoe. Like, now looking back at it, that was an asshole move, but it was the funniest fucking thing ever. And we went to the principal's office, and then our parents are listening to this, and they're like, nah, they wouldn't do that. And then we did, and it's just funny because me and him always do crazy shit like that. Me and him, I feel like I know him on a deeper level, spiritual level type shit, No,
Honestly, if we're talking about spiritual stuff right now, I have gotten a little bit into that.
all right.
So truthfully, my whole thing is weird,
Mm-hmm.
So truthfully, I believe in God,
Okay.
but I don't believe in Christianity.
That's good. That's good to think critically. You don't need to be following exactly what people are telling you. I like that. I respect
No,
that.
because what is mostly percent of the Bible? Man's word.
Mm-hmm.
So, and truthfully, I think Earth is heaven.
Okay.
I think Earth is heaven because it is an ugly and it is a nasty place.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do look, it is beautiful.
Wait,
It's
so I have a question. Like, I
Go
want to
ahead.
see, I want to make sure I'm understanding right. So, are you like one of the people where it's like you don't believe in heaven, you believe we're living in heaven, and it's like people's kindness and stuff is heaven, basically? Like the people that are like sad and stuff, they're basically in hell. Like the people that are always like angry, and then it's like the people
No,
that are like happy or like in
no,
heaven, basically, or is it something else?
no. So here's the thing about sadness and depression and all that, like anxiety, they're low frequencies.
mm-hmm.
And like, if you really think about it, the earth is a frequency. Because I have tested this and I can confirm this. I don't know where I read it, but I can confirm to this. If you take your shoes off outside and you take a pole, like a metal pole out
Oh,
there, and you stick
grounding.
it in the ground, yeah, like if you ground yourself
Mm-hmm.
and if you like have a frequency reader, yeah, reader, it'll show up off the charts.
Pretty sure it's because like the metal stuff in the ground. Never mind.
I've
I
heard
get what
about
you're saying though.
grounding. I'm not.
You
I
got,
don't know how it
you got,
works, but yeah, I've heard about it.
yeah, it does work,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it's recharging
Mm-hmm.
You
because
said what?
I feel like you're recharging because when you're out there and you're doing it and like you take your little breaths and all that, like because if you actually like do the whole breathing methods like from like how your ancestors did it, like I don't know how they got by. It's just like because with like how I told y'all, I am more Native American and Scandinavian, more Finnish really,
Mm-hmm.
but they're more reddish skin and more darkish,
Yeah.
Say they do have a sense of light, but we're more reddish and darkish. But there were breathing methods way back when that would make your whole body just feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It would put you at a silent plane. And like if you do that whole 1, 2, 3, 4 and that whole exhale 1, 2, 3, 4,
That shit does work.
like for it does work
Mm-hmm.
every time. And I was actually like from being outside and being like doing that whole 20 to 30 minute thing a day, like just like taking my shoes off and just walking.
Mm-hmm.
I was losing weight off of that, bro. because I maxed out at 350 pounds. Within a year and within a month, well, okay, so technically within a year, I lost 100 pounds. I got down to 250. And
That's a crazy
then,
feat. I
I,
respect that.
hmm?
That's a crazy feat. I respect that.
Thank you. But then I started losing 10 more pounds within a whole month because I was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm
then
proud of you, bro.
thank you. But the whole snow season came and I messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's the quickest way to get frostbite right there. Hey, I've gotten frostbite. It don't
Yeah,
feel
that
good.
shit ain't nice. No, one
So,
thing I want to
I
say.
just wasn't expecting you to say that. I'm sorry. You were talking out of nowhere. That's a quick way to get frostbite.
This is one
My
it
bad.
thing
You
is
just caught me off guard.
I wanted to say something.
honestly. Go ahead.
Okay, so um, people always. I'm gonna say bigger people here. When they're going to work out and better themselves, right? They always feel like they're going to be judged going into like a gym or going to swim or something. And
Yeah,
I think there might be a small amount of people that actually do. But what I always try to say is, how are you going to get judged when you're actually going out to better yourself? Because what percent of people aren't like actually doing that? Who are actually going out every day trying to better themselves and actually try to do it? So I feel like no one
Kevin
should
makes
ever
a
be
valid
ashamed
point.
for trying to go out to better themselves or find better, just anything, not even just fitness wise, just spiritual, like, because everyone might not agree on the same spiritual thing. Like for me, I wouldn't say I'm religious right now, and I want to, because I want to find that real connection. I don't want to listen to what I've just heard or what I've been told. I want to actually find that connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like no one should ever get ashamed for what they believe or what they want to try to do for themselves, because no matter what, they're figuring themselves out and figuring out what actually fits with them spiritually. Because a lot of people always think about the spiritual stuff and think, oh, hippies, blah, blah, blah. But that's true happiness. You want to find what you believe, what makes you get up in the morning, what makes you actually happy, what makes you actually want to get out of bed. And
Mm-hmm.
people, I don't see why people make fun of people or judge people when they actually try to do those things and actually better themselves. I think it's just really nasty to
Yeah.
belittle people for actually chasing a better self.
What is the point of hatred, bro? I've never
Hey, chill, bro. I'm,
understood.
I'm the biggest hater on earth, bro. Chill out.
Hey, Caden, don't even try that.
Realistically,
But
wait, I want to try to.
you can make. Go ahead.
No, you
My
keep
bad.
talking. I'm pulling out my book. I want to say something from this book real quick. You guys keep talking.
All right. But what's the point of hatred, bro? Like, there's not enough. Because you never know when you're gonna die, bro. You'll
Exactly.
never know.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the point of being hatred? I'm hateful, not hatred. What is the point of being hateful?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have no point to be hateful in your life to anybody. Because you know me, respect is a two-way road.
Exactly.
Even when you disrespect me, I'll leave you on silent.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me being disrespectful. That's me being calm to myself. That's me being
Just,
respectful towards myself.
just being the bigger person.
For all it is.
I think
Yeah.
this is like, I'm talking about genuine hate. Like I'll go, like I'll say like I'm hating on a friend, and that's like as a as almost like as a brother, like me
Just
and
like
you,
joking around.
we're connected, like we know, like
Yeah.
we actually respect each other, and we can go here
Mhm.
and actually fuck around and joke around. I'm not being serious when I go, mess around with my friends. But I think real hatred, like actually looking at this person and thinking nasty things and actually genuinely not liking them for a certain thing, I think that's truly a reflection of themselves. And I think a lot of people say, this isn't like me saying some crazy stuff. It's them not being happy with themselves, so they want to inflict this unhappiness on other people because they can't figure out why they're unhappy with themselves.
Yeah. I've learned something throughout my 17 years of life. I've never like held grudges towards people. It's like people said some crazy things to me. I always just laugh it off. I'm like, not worth getting too mad about. I'll just laugh it off and like, yeah. But it's just like it's not worth
Man,
it to me. It's like I don't think most people ever see me mad. So at the end of the day, I guess it's worked out in the long run.
For
I think I
me,
just said a whole lot of nothing.
No, I 100%
for
agree.
me, agreeable. But the thing with that, you know,
I'll say you can think whatever you want. I'm not here to change your mind about how you think. Just
I'm not. No, it's not like you know me, bro. I don't have any hatred in my heart for nobody, and I will
no,
never hold a grudge against anybody. Apart from, I know it's gonna make everybody laugh, and I know it's gonna make both of y'all laugh. But don't steal my food, bro.
you
Don't
said
just don't steal
what?
my food.
No, I
Don't
agree.
don't
Don't
steal
steal
my
your food?
food. Don't steal my
I'm not.
food. You
Nah, I
know,
feel that, bro. People taking my food makes me like really mad.
but like it makes me like, it doesn't make me mad. It just makes me like, cause here's my thing. I bless my own food. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like I don't have like I don't have like God bless my food. I bless my own food.
Mm-hmm.
So it blesses me with the nutrients that I need. To me that makes a whole lot more sense, than blessing somebody and then having somebody else to bless my food. Cuz what if they don't bless my food?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I see what you mean. So this is the thing for my book. Now I'm not going to read the whole thing, so I'm just going to say this. So this is a conversation between two people. So the book's about this philosopher. He was a slave, and this is kind of a conversation he's had with a guy. And like pretty much his thing is quick thing. I'm just going to kind of explain the philosophy real quick. You don't worry about the things you cannot control, and if someone puts you in a bad place, you can't get out of that place. What's the point of feeling sorrow for yourself in that place? You might as well control what you do have, which is your consciousness, and actually find happiness in connection with nature and stuff like that. But here's a quick thing from it. So this is like the enslaver. It says, "I will put you in chains," and then the philosopher replies, "What's that you say, friend? It's only my leg you will chain. Not even God will conquer my will." And he says, "I'll throw you in prison. Correction, it is only my body you will throw there. My will stay where I want it to be." And I
Exactly.
think that's when I was reading that was really moving because people will, let's say, go to a job they quote unquote hate. But why do you hate it? You control what you feel. Like, as much as people say they don't, you do control for the most part how you feel. It maybe the
I
outlook.
can't control how you feel.
If you go into work, okay, maybe not control how you feel. The way you look at things. Like, okay, when you walk into work and say, "Oh my God, I
Perspective.
hate this place. I don't want to be here." How happy can you be there? When you walk in somewhere unhappy already having that bad mindset, how happy can you be? If you walk into somewhere, now, yes, it's not a very pleasant experience, but if you go in there open-minded or at least positively thinking, you are going to be more happy of a person. Because maybe you can't.
That's why they call
Mm-hmm. I
low frequencies.
Exactly. I think that's something everyone should practice is just finding true happiness in thought. Because truly your thoughts and your actions and stuff are really the only things you can control. So why be unhappy with stuff you can't control when you can just try to not convince yourself, but always have just a better outlook and a better connection with things. I kind of just said a lot of nothing, but you know what I mean.
I agree with that
I don't know.
100%, bro.
You didn't say a whole bunch of nothing. You said what you think and what you think is true.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
What
agree with
you
that
speak,
a 1000%, bro.
what you speak will come true, bro. I believe in that.
Exactly.
Because
Today.
people are always like, people ask me all the time, like, why don't I leave the house? Why don't I go talk to people? I enjoy just chilling at home and with my thoughts, like looking into the things I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go. I just want to chill at home and just like look into stuff I find interesting.
Here's my
Exactly.
thing.
I just,
Did y'all invite me? Here's
hmm?
my thing. Did y'all invite me?
Dude,
That's
actually,
my thing.
I no,
Like, bro, like, why don't, like, they're like, because people ask, why don't y'all go out? Did y'all invite me?
mm-hmm. Because people will have a
If I was not
conversation.
invited, why would I go?
No, in front of you. Like they'll have a conversation about going up to a place, right? And they'll be talking about it right in front of you. And then they'll they'll talk about it and then one will go, why didn't you go, or why didn't you whatever? And it's like, well, you didn't bring it up to me. I had to bring myself into the conversation. Why should I want to go somewhere if I wasn't invited? Like, I'm not
Fact.
gonna go sit here and not beg, but oh, jump into the conversation, and they're like saying, oh, we're gonna hang out this day, and be like, oh, what are you guys doing? Can I come? Like, I'm not gonna do that. I
No,
have
that's
more respect for myself to do that. And if you can't respect me enough to include me or invite me, and I'm not saying you have to invite me to everything you do. Obviously, there's things that people do that they want to do with certain people, but don't talk to me about why don't you hang out a lot if you're not inviting me to hang out.
exactly.
I don't know. Sometimes I'll be feeling like I'm a fake friend though, because my friends always be trying to get me to go out. I'm like, ah, man. I'll be
I
telling them I'm
can't
gonna go.
get
I just don't go. I just don't like going out. I'm gonna be honest.
But like, I don't know why we can't just stay at the house and chill.
Well, I understand you should go out and talk to people. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I don't know. I don't like being
But
around a
you
lot of
shouldn't
people.
do that all the time, though. You should be able to do
Yeah,
that every once in a while. It shouldn't be like, let's do this every weekend. It should just be like, well, if y'all like just want to like just come over and chill. Like don't
Mm-hmm.
be loud, don't be loud, don't be rambunctious.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But if y'all want my presents, y'all can come get my presents. And even if y'all call and ask, like, hey, what y'all doing this weekend? And if like, and it's like if I have something to do, like, I'll ask you right then and there. Like, hey, you want to come do this with me? Or like, hey, you just want to come chill at the house? It like it's all about if you should ask first. I like even if you do ask, but that like takes like multiple years to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know me, both of you know me. Like, if you guys need anything, I'll be right there for you every day of the week. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because for both of y'all are my brothers. It don't matter. You know. And say I've always been like that. Say, but if y'all want my presents, ask for the presents.
Exactly.
yeah.
If
Because
if but then if you like say but I do agree with you, James. Like if you don't ask me to go out, then why y'all dissing them when my presence was not there?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I,
Say it's
I think for me, I don't know. I enjoy going out, but a lot I do like to have my own time where I can actually think for myself and learn for myself, because right now my main goals right now, or I wouldn't say goals, the type of person I'm trying to become and getting there every day, 1%, 1% better every day, is I want to be a intelligent, strong and capable person. Now, I want to be physically, like, I want to be that person that I can physically go run if I want to. I want to go to be able to, if I said I wanted to go climb a mountain one day, just randomly out of the blue, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to actually do what I want and not be tired and not be held back by my mind or my body, and I don't want to be held back by my mind either. So I'm kind of right
mm,
now, I want my time to be able to get my intelligence up, kind of like XP farm almost, just get my mind and body to the best performance I can be at so I can enjoy my life to my fullest extent.
truthfully. My opinion on that is that experience comes from the things that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and I do agree with you. You should be able to XP farm on that intelligence level,
Mm-hmm.
but intelligence comes from wisdom
In doing.
and doing exactly.
You
Just
can read a whole manual on how to ride a bike, but you get on that bike and you'll fall, kind of thing. I
every time.
100% agree. Yeah,
It's all about
that's
trial
all
and
it is.
error.
That's one thing
But
why I want to join the
but
Marines, is because like
exactly.
that same look, because it's a changing thing. It become no, I'm not saying that's how you become a man, but it does make you a man. It
Yeah, it's
teaches you
just
that
one of the
respect. It
aspects of
teaches
being a
you,
man.
yeah.
It's not, but here's the thing about a man, though. A man is someone who provides and someone who takes care of things.
Hmm.
hmm
In a
So my
Marine,
bad to cut you off, James.
no, I'm
So
not
go
saying
ahead.
I'm not. There's some bad people that go into the Marines, so I'm not saying every
Mhm.
Marine's great, right? because there is bad people. You can't just lie about that. But the Marines teach you how to be reliable, how to provide, how to sustain yourself. And I think that's a big thing why I wanted to do it, because I always felt like I want to be able to just be capable of anything. If, like, when I have a wife and kids, I want to be able to be there for my kid for every moment and my wife for every moment. I want to be able to provide and be able to be the man that they deserve and the man they need.
Truthfully, I don't think I'll ever get married.
Why not?
Because
I think everyone has that
That
person.
I don't feel like I'm the person that deserves love.
I think
what?
everyone's deserving of love. I think
Everybody is deserving of love, but
no,
sometimes I don't feel like I am.
that's
And
ridiculous. You should,
Why would you feel that way, Draven? Like, come on, bro. I feel like you deserve more than I know.
because you're a
it's
caring person. A lot of people see, the thing is, a lot of people can't say that for themselves. A lot of people can't say they're as good of a person as you are. I think everyone is deserving of love, and I think everyone has that partner somewhere in life. And you might not find it until a certain thing, but I think
I'm
you,
not
out
saying
of a
that I
lot of
won't.
people, deserve it and need it. I
I'm
think
not
that's.
saying that I won't, you know.
Mhm.
It's just like right now, with what I've done with my life, I don't feel like I am deserving of love.
Oh, like you
I
haven't done
feel
enough
like,
in your life to be able
yeah,
to have a
you
wife,
know,
basically. I get what you're
no,
saying
like,
now.
yeah, even then, it's not, I just don't feel like I know what love is, and I know how to express it, and I know how to show it,
Mhm.
and I know what love is, and I want know what love is, but I don't feel like I am deserving of love because of the things I've done with my life.
Well,
Yes, I am about to achieve high school. Yes, I have achieved some things in my life, but does it does it really mean that I'm deserving of love?
I
I
think
mean,
I think just how on your okay. So you can't become the person you want to be in a day, right? No one does. I think
Exactly.
I think if you're the type
Yeah.
of person that upgrades every day, 1%, literally a small thing every day, I think that person is deserving of love because they're bettering themselves. If you are always pushing to better yourself, which is something everyone should be doing, I think that person is worthy at that moment, because every day you are. I'm not saying you got to go out there David Goggins shit, rise and grind type thing. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, go learn something new. Go on a walk. Go just do something that benefits you in some way every day. And you're bettering yourself, and you're doing better than most people do, because a lot of people don't do that, and I think that's an important thing. Just that 1%
Yeah.
every day. I think that, and you just going to those PTs on the Saturdays, it's only one day of the week, but that's you going out of your way to do something that makes you stronger, makes you better. It makes you better. And I think that is a respectable thing, and I think that is a almost an achievement. I think that is a thing that you're doing something that not a lot of people are doing, and you're going out there and bettering yourself and proving yourself as a man, and showing that you aren't just going to sit there and you know stay the same every day. You're actually going out and trying to do better. I think so. I think I get what you're saying, but I think you have a negative look on it, if that makes sense.
I don't have a negative look on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause here's my thing though. If it was negative, I would say I'm not deserving of love at all.
Okay.
you're saying not
You
at this
know,
moment.
Not at this
I'm
moment.
just saying I'm not. I don't believe not at this moment. Because I know there's some things that I gotta work on up in here,
Mm-hmm.
up in the head. Like there's some things that I need to be better on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to be better on. You know, I need to smile more. To. I need to be able to be a better person all around. And there's a whole lot of things that you both of you can say that he's a real kind of respectful person.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
y'all can say that, but right now there's some things in my life that I don't feel like I've been respectful at all.
I understand
Like
that.
I feel like I was downright disrespectful, and I feel like I've been doing that more than I have, more than I have been respectful.
I get
If
you.
that makes a little bit of
No,
sense.
I get what you're saying, and I think you being able to realize that and say that, I think proves that you are heading in the right direction. I think that should make you happy that you are moving forward. I think that's just because a lot of people aren't able to do a self-analysis like that, like actually think of what their problems are. And that's
Shout out Miss Poe for putting on us on them SWOT analyses.
uh, the
Yeah.
SWOT analysis: strength, weakness,
Shout out Miss Poe.
opportunity, threats.
Shout out Miss Poe.
Miss Poe. But yeah, no. I think you just realizing that you have problems and you need to fix them, I think that's respectable, and I think that's a great thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But it's not like I'm sad about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's more or less like it's not really like just disappointment. It's just like
You understand?
it's more or less surprise, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like how did I get here?
I agree. There's a lot of things for me. I feel like I'm still working on becoming a better person, because I feel like for a lot of my life I was kind of an asshole, and I think I still have that piece of me. So I'm always trying to
Mhm.
better myself and become a better person, a nicer person. I think that's something I do need to work on, is becoming a nicer person. I think overall, I think anyone that's known me for a long time can say that I am a better and nicer person than I was a year or 2 years ago. And that's just through, looking inward and seeing how I shouldn't be acting how I was acting and things like that. And I think it's part of growing up as a man.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just went into big, like, deep spiritual. Caden, do you have anything you want to add into this before I kind of mosey onto a different topic real quick?
Well, nah, not really.
Okay. So, Draven, I know
I
you
was
don't.
waiting.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
one thing. I got
Oh,
one thing. Sorry, I do got
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
thing. Draven, it's bet you saying you
Go
don't
ahead.
deserve love, bro.
Huh?
I believe. All right, I just bet you saying you don't deserve love, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why you deserve love, bro. I believe I do.
So
And have you ever? I
I
have a question.
do.
Have you ever? Oh wait, no, hold on. Have you ever cheated on someone?
Nope, never.
All right, so this is a story from my life. So it was like last year. I was dating someone, and it was going good, but I wasn't very like loyal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
it didn't end very well, right? That's all I'm gonna
Okay.
say. It's because it was kind of personal. But what's it called? And I still believe I deserve love at the end of the day. So, and you've never done anything that bad, and that's like, in my opinion, that's one of the worst things you can do as a person is
It's
cheat on someone.
disloyalty.
So I believe if I still believe I deserve love, I believe you should believe the same thing, personally.
I
It's
agree.
not that I don't. It's not that I don't believe that I don't deserve love. It's just I don't feel like I deserve it right now
Got more work to
because
do.
I've been more. Yeah, I feel like I got more work to do because I've been more
Yeah,
disrespectful than I have been respectful to people. And I'm not
exactly.
saying like it's just with family. It's with everybody, bro.
I respect that.
I
Because there
get
have been
that.
times where just straight downright disrespectful for
Mm-hmm.
people that I don't even know. And it's not
Yeah, I
like
understand that.
it's not like I try to be. It's just like they try to talk to me and it's just like I brush them off. You know, like I don't know you. You know, it's not like I don't try and let that opportunity to open up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, and that's my opinion about it. So, but I got a
yeah, I get
question.
that. Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
How did you feel about a guest asking a question?
I don't
oh,
mind.
ask a question. Yeah, you go, dude.
Yeah, ask
No,
whatever
this
questions
is.
you want.
Yeah, I've been kind of asking a lot of questions. You start throwing them out.
Shit, I had my question, but I lost it.
Bro,
Fuck.
don't even have a question. You just wanted to know.
No, I had a question. I really did. I had a question, but you threw me off. I was like, where did
My
it
bad.
go? I was trying to think about. No, it's my fault. You know,
Do you need some time to think about
but
it, or?
nah. So, what do y'all think about the whole system?
What do you mean?
Like, do y'all think we're in the Matrix, or do y'all think there's a whole, or like there's a different thing like there's a whole different thing to worry about?
All right. So, you're talking about just how the world works
Yeah.
type deal. Okay, so me.
Like, do you think there's corruption in the system,
Okay, so
like with everything, or do you think like there's a little bit of good in here?
me. Okay, so this is my thought, real quick. Um, I don't believe in a simulation or matrix. I'm not gonna like if someone came to me and gave me a good argument for it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're an idiot. That's just not my belief. I don't really believe that. But
Yeah.
corruption and stuff, I think there's people like and the reason why I think this is because for me, I'm not saying I want to go into government when I'm um older like 100%, but that is an interest for me because I that is one of my favorite topics. I love doing that, talking about politics and trying to make things better. If I know
Mhm.
I want to go into politics and make things better and make cuz you can make a real change there, you know? And you can make a real change in other places, but I feel like in politics if you're a good politician, you can save lives, make life better for a lot of different people. If I know I have that drive, now maybe not drive because that's not something I want to do 100%, but if I know I have that feeling, I know there's other people in there that go into politics that want to do good. So I don't think everyone in politics is evil and selfish and thing, but I think the longer you get in, I think it's easier to be corrupt. I think that's the problem. Now, this is opinion. I'm not saying this is true. I think the longer you're in there, companies start trying to pay you money to like, pass their bill for their benefit. And, you get money and you're not getting paid that well. So you want to keep your kids eating good. So you fall into corruption. Slowly, it's just a downward spiral. I think it is
Well,
easier to get corrupted. And I think a lot of people are corrupted and maybe not corrupted, but, they take a bribe every once in a while.
yeah.
But I think there's good people in politics. I think there's a lot of good people in politics. And I think that's with every country. Some countries worse than others because there's more incentive to be corrupted. But I overall think our country's been around for over 200 years. I think we're going to prevail. I don't think we're on the brink of collapse. I think we're going to keep going and there's going to be hard times just like the Great Depression, right? It was a really bad
Definitely.
time. But then we were fine after, and I think we might go into another Great Depression, but I think we're always overall we're gonna be okay. Just like the great Kendrick once said, knees getting weak, gun might blow, something something, we gonna be all right. Um, I think we're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thoughts about it. If Kaden, if you got
Mhm.
anything to add,
um, I don't know. Some people think it's like too deep, in my opinion. Like some people are like everything has an underlying meaning.
I don't think so.
I think that's stupid. Um, and there's this one person I know. Everything he thinks is like a lie. Like anything the government says has to be a lie. Nothing can be true. They
Yeah.
say to the point where he doesn't even believe. Like I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say because obviously some people wouldn't believe it either. I was gonna bring up the Bible, but
Mhm.
I probably shouldn't get into that. Um, but I feel like obviously there's people like behind the scenes doing stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, but like that's more of like the famous people. If you don't even pay attention to any of that, I feel like in the long run your life will be perfect. Not
Hmm.
perfect, but normal. But when you start focusing too much on like the Hollywood stuff, like
Oh
famous
yeah.
people and
When you
like what this famous person is doing, that's basically when you get involved in what I would consider the Matrix is,
when
where
oh
it's
yeah,
like you're
like
too
oh okay.
focused on stuff
I
that
thought when
doesn't
he said
matter.
like Matrix, he meant like you meant like living in a real simulation. I get what you
He
mean,
might
like
he This
falling
might be
into
what he
the
Well,
meant, but
it's
yeah.
that's
not
what I
like.
meant.
Well,
All right.
yeah, like I do think. I'm not saying like we live in a matrix. I feel
Mhm.
like
I get what
Wait,
you
so I
mean,
took it
like
the right
the
way?
the
I feel
small
like we're
brain,
being
like
told.
you
I
go.
feel like we're being told things. Go, my bad. But I feel like we're being told things and we're just doing what we're told because the
Yeah.
government says so. You
Oh,
know.
most definitely, they're gonna tell you what they want you to
Here's
But
think.
here's the
my
thing, though. Hmm?
this is like
I
a
said
kind
most
of an
definitely, they're gonna tell you what they want you to think, but at the end of the day, that's up to you if you want to believe it or not.
I think I have a little bit of an argument. I don't think it's necessarily the government. A big part of it is I think it's a lot of different people mixing in. It's not just like one entity trying to control you. It's multiple different entities, right? There's
Well, yeah.
influencers that try to get you to get addicted to them, like literally addicted to them. So then you
Mr.
go
Beast.
buy their products or buy things they sell. They're trying to control you. There's bigger companies that are doing the same thing, trying to get you loyal, so you do their bidding and buy them. And the government's trying to do the same thing. I think I think the problem is, again, I kind of said this to start, social media. People get too fixated on social media, and it's honestly a poison. It's good. Like for me, I get on Instagram every once in a while. I check stories and notes every day, but I'm not scrolling on Instagram because it's poison. It literally is. You're gonna get on there,
That's what I mean.
and I think there's definitely a lot of people that are trying to control you, but I don't think it's one entity, and I don't think they're trying to control you for one specific purpose to be a forever slave. I think they're just trying to get you to
Yeah.
spend more money or just listen to what they're saying or follow their political ideas because it gets them in power. And I think that's a big problem, and I think the problem is social media, and that's what I want to talk about. TikTok. Do you have any opinion on TikTok?
I never downloaded it.
Okay.
Really?
I never downloaded TikTok.
I want to
Hey,
say
James, I've been thinking about taking my phone to GameStop, bro. They giving money for phones with TikTok.
For like,
Make a quick
I didn't get. Here's my thing. I didn't get. Like, I had Facebook first,
uh-huh.
right? Like, I started with just Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and then it went to Instagram, and then it went to Snapchat. I only had Snapchat for possibly 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you think about it, it's not really that long. For how long it's been out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I got rid of it. It's been gone for over a year.
Mm-hmm. That's
The
one
only
thing.
thing I have now is Instagram.
Now, I didn't
And
get
that's
rid of
it.
Snap, but one thing I did do is I got rid of streaks because here's my thinking. If I woke up, because I would see myself waking up in the morning, and what would I do? Immediately open my phone and send streaks so I don't lose this imaginary number that truly doesn't mean anything. And it wasn't meaningful
Exactly.
streaks. It wasn't like I was communicating with face. I would take a picture of the ceiling, take a picture of my bed, just to keep that number,
Mhm.
that virtual number that has no benefit to me, but I have a connection to it for some reason. And I continually woke up and did that. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm kind of a zombie here. I'm waking up using this app because I don't really text people all that much, and if I do, I'm usually using Snap because that's why I have Snap because that's how I usually communicate with people. But I'm getting
Yeah.
this
It's just to
connection to
communicate
something
with
that means
people.
nothing. It literally means nothing. So that's why I got rid of streaks, and at first it was not the biggest deal. Like it wasn't like I was hardship over it. Like I wasn't sad about it. But I had like over 300-day streaks, you know, so it was pretty kind of
I never got over. I never got over 10.
I think my longest streak, and it's my only streak, is like 300 days
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
And
I've never, bro. Like,
I think it's
but
gonna be a
what I mean
year
by
in like 2 weeks.
matrix,
Yeah.
what I mean by matrix is what you just said
mm-hmm.
there, James. You know, it's like because you being on your phone all the time. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
that's what it is. It's blue light to draw you in,
I
to
think
make your
people.
brain, because it ruins that little piece in your brain.
Okay. I want to
You
say
know.
this real quick, because this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I obviously, being 17, I wasn't around way before YouTube. Well, I was around before YouTube, but I think. Um.
No, it came out the
Fuck
year
me.
we were born, James.
Oh, okay. But
That
anyways,
was with 6.
before I
I was
was so when YouTube first came out, this was I forget what podcast. It was Joe Rogan and someone talked about this. When YouTube first came out, it was like the most addicting thing because you could get almost any video you wanted. Now, obviously, when it first came out, it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of people on it, but YouTube originally when it started getting big was like the most addicting thing because you could get any type of video you wanted immediately with less advertisements than any other thing. Like watching cable, you couldn't choose what you wanted to watch. YouTube, you could do whatever you wanted to watch. People thought that would be the most addicting, like kind of. YouTube isn't is YouTube technically social media or no? It would be more like a
I would
sharing
say so
platform.
because they're. I feel like at first it was just like a video site, which
Yeah,
I guess is a form of social media, but I think it's
well,
definitely one now.
but people thought YouTube would be like it was the most addictive thing. People were saying YouTube's ruining kids' minds, and
I
that
do
Look
was
at
feel like
TikTok.
Here, wait,
Yeah,
let me say this point real quick, okay? So people thought this was ruining kids' minds, and this was long form media. Then, now Vine was short form, but that really didn't hit the. It was popular, but it didn't hit the level as TikTok. Musically
mm-mm.
came out, and
It was
then
like
when
the
it switched
start,
to
right?
TikTok, it went huge. Short form media has ruined kids' brains. They have less attention spans. They're worse at learning, and they literally can't force themselves to watch. Like now, I was to the point where when I was watching a lot of TikToks, me watching a longer YouTube video was like me like it was like, oh, like instead of drinking a Pepsi, it was like drinking a diet Pepsi. You know, you feel happy because it doesn't have calories, but it's still bad. You know, that when I
Yeah.
noticed that I was feeling like I was being productive by watching YouTube instead of TikTok, I was like, this shit's bad. Like and if my attention span got so bad from just watching TikTok that YouTube is like a good thing, there's something wrong. And that's what's
Yeah,
happening with all these kids. All these kids are using TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels. And now I'm not saying like watch them like maybe for a little bit isn't bad. You know, it's some entertainment. But doom scrolling, anyone that has used that can't say they haven't doom scrolled, right? At
What
least
is doom
scrolled for an
scrolling?
hour or more. No one, I don't. You're a liar if you say you
I
haven't.
used to get bad with that. I
Okay,
used
wait.
to
So
get
I have
real bad with that.
does this count if like you just have it like playing in the background and like you're not even paying much attention to it?
Well, even then, yeah, it's still stimulation because you're still getting the stimulation from it. But the reason why
Okay.
you doom scroll is because you just keep scrolling for that anticipation of more dopamine, more entertainment. When something has you in that loop of just scrolling your finger, that's when it's bad. And I think short form media has ruined kids' brains, and I don't think it's going to get any better. And what happens when, because something is going to be more addictive than TikTok. Something. That's not the peak of addiction of media. Something is going to be more addictive and worse for kids' brains, and that's really scary to me. Now, I don't know what it would be.
Well,
It's probably going to be some type of like VR type thing, I would assume, once VR gets really up there.
honestly, I feel like it's gonna be Roblox.
Roblox.
Mhm. Yeah, I
All right,
feel like
now
it's gonna be
I want to hear
Roblox.
you cook with this one.
Yeah, I want to hear you cook.
I ain't gonna cook with this one.
No, no, I want to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Nope. Uh.
Nah, you gotta
What you
say
been
your
doing on
point, dude. This
Roblox,
is what
bro?
you think. This
Yeah,
is the whole
you
point of the
can't bring that
podcast,
up and
dog.
just like you
Well,
can't bring up
well, here's
Roblox
my
and act
thing.
like you
Here's
didn't say
my thing.
Roblox.
Here's my thing. I did say Roblox. You know, not to diss on the whole. You know, it has some good games. You know,
Yeah, I'm not hating. I'm hearing you out, dog.
I
I'm
play
not
I
dissing
Roblox.
understand.
I'll be
on.
honest.
Hmm.
I play Roblox. I'll be honest.
That's fine. You know, you could play Roblox, but for the kids level, and yet for some stuff, the stuff that it shows, it's not okay.
Hmm.
Almost definitely.
You know, because if you really do look into it, it does show some. It does show some pornographic hits. I think that's my thing. That's my opinion on it.
Oh
I
yeah, there's
get what you
definitely stuff on
mean,
Roblox kids shouldn't be being involved with.
but
Like
I
I
don't
can go on Roblox right now and play a game where I pretend to be a Chicago gang member on 15 people in 10
exactly.
seconds, bro. Kids shouldn't be having
Hmm.
to play shit like that. Stuff like that. My bad. My bad.
I get what you mean, but I don't think Roblox is gonna be the next. I think it's just gonna be like what you mean, video games in general. I think video games. Now, coming from a guy that played a shit ton of video games, there's definitely a reason why there should be a limit on them, especially for younger kids. Or like as a parent, I think it should be something like when I have kids, I'm gonna be kind of controlling that more, just because it can do the same effects as you know ruining attention
That's
spans
the
and
brain
stuff like
rot.
that. Yeah,
That's the brain rot.
it's like brain rot. Now, I'm not
Yes.
saying video games are horrible, but I there's you need to limit your screen time because you need to live life.
I feel like if, like I said before, you gotta go touch grass.
Hmm.
You gotta be connected with Earth.
Exactly. I think
So,
I think connection with nature is one of the things that actually brings a lot of enjoyment and happiness to you, like as in your soul almost.
Nah, for real.
hmm
I know during summertime, one of my most favorite things. Not right now, obviously, because it's
Yeah,
freezing
it's
out.
cold as
It's like
fuck.
-20. But during the summer, I love going on walks.
Yeah, dude, it's really
That's what I mean.
it's
That's what
opening.
I mean. It's healing. Hmm. I
Man.
got a question for you,
Yeah.
Kaden. You listen to anything on those walks?
Nah, so it because sometimes my mom comes with me too, and we just have conversations. But normally I go on
I
walks. It's just like I'm just going to think. But it's not normally a long walk. I normally just walk around my neighborhood real quick, and I go home. But I want to start doing like walking through like the woods and stuff. Even though my neighborhood's kind of like in the woods.
Mm-hmm. When you start doing that and you just start listening, and trust me, things will come back to you. Like they sneak up on you, and like you'll never would have thought of that
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because it's happened to me many times. I'm not gonna say what it is because some of those things are personal,
Mm-hmm.
but they would come up and they would be like, "Wow, I never would have thought about it that way," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly why I feel like I became. That's honestly why I feel like I wanted to become a better person.
Mm-hmm. You get a better connection with yourself because you're
Mhm.
able to think clearly. And I
Mhm.
think honestly, this has been a great conversation. We would go in for an hour and 23 minutes here. I think we start
We
wrapping it
said
up. I think
we
we're
said
wrapping it up.
45 minutes.
45 minutes. I'm going to say we're going to start wrapping it up just because I don't want to have to post a 2 hour long video. So I hope everyone that, whoever watches this, I hope you enjoyed it and picked up something. And maybe if you want to get into something like a podcast, let me know. I'm going to have like details and everything in the description. And this was a great conversation. And whoever watches this, I hope you picked up something and have a nice day.
Appreciate y'all for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not
And
for real.
that's the podcast over,
Mhm.
guys.